I have to big up this guy. He's one of my favourite fantasy players that I've ever owned on any game. So he has to be an extra hot for me. Some of you may know me as the person who won the official fan team game last year. And this section is the source meter on chasing green arrows. Yeah, I think he has to go high for me on this one. Maybe like a hot or an extra hot, even like maybe hot just because of the slight chance of rotation. But he's looked brilliant recently. He obviously got an assist again last night. And yeah, I think he's going to be hot on this one. I mean, if he does play, he's got to be an extra hot in this fixture with his form and with how good the fixture is. It's as good as it can possibly be. I am worried about his injury though, so that would take it down if he was injured. Of course, I think he'd go right down to the bottom. But extra hot if he plays. Yeah, it's a great fixture again. Slightly worried he got subbed for. He didn't have a knock, I don't think, so it was just a tactical substitution because he was on a yellow card, I think, in the last game. So that's something to worry about. But the fixture's so good. He's an attacking fullback. I think it's hot again, to be honest. Yeah, this seems like a great fixture again. He obviously had 3 assists in the last game week, so he's as in form as he can possibly be again. If Antonio doesn't play for whatever reason, Bowen will take the striker role, which is even better having the OOP for him. Yeah, he's got to be hot, at least hot, I think, like verging on extra hot, I think. Yeah, I think it's a decent fixture. I'm slightly worried about Villa defensively because under Gerrard, they've looked like a very open team, i.e. where both teams will sort of score in some of the games. I think that the Chelsea game last game week was particularly open. I think it was a really entertaining game. So I think I'd just go medium on this one. It's obviously a good fixture, but I'm just not convinced they'll keep a clean sheet, to be honest. Oh, that's an interesting one. So obviously, if you've got him, he's an absolute hold. Like, you don't get rid of this guy. He's been absolutely amazing on fantasy this season. I think there's a chance of a clean sheet. I mean, I wouldn't say it's like over 50%. So I guess we go in the middle again. I reckon he's a medium again. Well, obviously, Burnley have got a lot of fixtures to come up. So, I mean, if he's in anyone's team, he's obviously a great sort of little hold for these double game weeks, which are going to come up at some point. It seems like Burnley are going to double every few weeks. But for this week, if Rafinha plays, I think he's probably going to score like he has done in most of the previous games in recent history. So I'd go like just below a medium, I guess, like some sort of lemon and herb concoction or something like that. I have to big up this guy. He's one of my favourite fantasy players that I've ever owned on any game. So he has to be an extra hot for me. I mean, he's got the penalties, he's got the set pieces, and he's very cheap. I absolutely love him against Newcastle this week. I think Liverpool have looked a bit more open, sort of in the last. Even if you take like the last 5 games, I think if Chelsea are going to score, especially with seemingly James out now, it seems like Lukaku's going to have to be the man who scores the goal. It is a tough fixture regardless of how Liverpool have played recently, though. So I think it's a medium for Lukaku. I wouldn't be selling him if I had him, but I probably wouldn't buy him this week either. For this week specifically, I think it's a really tough fixture. I think it's probably like for this week, it's a lemon and herb sort of situation, but I would not be surprised if he had like a few headed shots this week, for example, as Man United have looked quite vulnerable off corners. So I don't think he'll keep a clean sheet, but I think there's some attacking threat there still. Thanks, everyone. I'm Josh, and that was my source meter for game week 21. And now I believe we're moving on to the Pimp My Team section.